BJP now slams the Stalin government over Deepam showdown. BJP says DMK insults crores of Hindu devotees and self-immolation due to Stalin Deepam policy. DMK brazenly insulting court order on Deepam. So that is the attack by the BJP at the DMK, saying that the DMK is brazenly insulting the court's order. Remember, the Madras High Court Madurai bench had given a nod, had given assent to light the Deepam at the Deepathoon. But despite the nod, the protesters were not allowed to do so. The devotees were not allowed to light the Deepam. Now, remember, this Deepathoon is 50 meters away from the Dargah, where the rituals were being allowed to be carried out. And we're now being joined by DMK's A. Saravanan on the broadcast. Mr. Saravanan, a very good morning to you. The controversy over the Deepam Rao escalates. On one hand, the pro-Deepam protesters were stopped by the cops. On the other hand, the Dargah rituals were being carried out. They had approval. Now, the BJP is attacking your party, claiming that you're ignoring and not following the directive of the Madras High Court.
See, it's very, very clear that any order is appealable. An order by a single judge is not final. So we have appealed that order. We are not agreeable to that order, and that order is erroneous. That is why we have appealed, and we'll have to await the orders from the appellate court. And let us not forget what Mr. Amit Shah had said. In matters of religion, courts should not pass orders which could not be implemented. In Sabarimala, the Supreme Court said women should be allowed. But BJP protested against that. They said court should not interfere in religious matters. So when it suits them, they will want to follow the orders. When it doesn't suit them, they will say these orders should not be followed. This is the duplicity of the BJP. And they want to change. They want to change the peaceful atmosphere of the state of Tamil Nadu. They want it to become a violent place where people clash on the basis of religion, which our Chief Minister, Mr. M.K. Stalin, will not allow. The evil designs, the evil intentions of the BJP and the RSS will not be allowed to be carried out in the state of Tamil Nadu.
Mr. Saravanan, why exactly is the DMK government opposing this directive, this order of the Madras High Court on lighting the Deepam? Why is the DMK against the lighting of the Deepam at the Deepathoon?
Yeah, see, first and foremost, we are against this order because it ignores earlier order by a division bench, by a judge of two judges, who said that it cannot be allowed to be lit, this Deepam cannot be allowed to be lit anywhere else. And again, you are wrong. The DMK government is not against the lighting of the Deepam. It is against the lighting of the Deepam near a place in the Dargah, near the Dargah. And it is, for the last more than 100 years, it is being lit at a place where traditionally it has been lit. There is no historical evidence that the Deepam can be or was lit in the place where the single judge has allowed it to be lit right now. So that is the whole problem. And it is the temple that makes the call where the Deepam should be lit, not some Hindutva goons. Hindutva goons are not allowed to take a call.
Mr. Saravanan, there are also allegations of double standards by these protesters who are claiming that there's approval to carry out processions, the bull chariot procession and flag hoisting at the Dargah, whereas the Hindu devotees are not being allowed to light their Deepam.
See, that's what. These are not Hindu devotees. Again, I make it clear, the Deepam was lit at a place where it was lit for the last 100 years. Some goons, Hindutva goons, who are masquerading as devotees, want to create communal unrest. They want to light this Deepam near the Dargah. That is what the government is opposing, and we will continue to oppose it.
All right, Mr. Saravanan, thank you for joining us on the broadcast. So that was DMK's A. Saravanan saying that courts can't interfere in religious matters, and he clearly defends the stopping of lighting of Deepam and the procession, the Dargah procession that was carried out. He completely backs those processions. He says that the lighting of Deepam cannot be done because the Deepathoon is within the 50 meters of Dargah, and he clearly says that courts can't interfere. In fact, he also called the pro-Deepam protesters as goons who are creating religious unrest. And my colleague Pramod Madhav is also with us. Pramod, the DMK stand is clear. They will not allow the Deepam to be lit at the Deepathoon because they claim that it is nearby the Dargah and can lead to communal tensions.
Well, Anjali, what the DMK is trying to say once again is that they have already, as per the Agama rules or the ancient rules of the temple, one Deepam has been lit in a very important spot which has been done for the past almost one century as well. So right now they claim that already a preceding order is there by a two-member judge, and that's the reason they are not ready to accept this particular order and went for a higher appeal. But what's happening on the ground is that the public are questioning that one side, if you are claiming that there is unrest because of this particular issue, how come the other side is allowed to conduct their own rituals? And that is why there was a protest yesterday and nearly 20 people were detained, Anjali.
Absolutely, Pramod. If one side is not being allowed to carry out their rituals, why is the other side being allowed to do so remains the larger question. Thank you so much for joining us with all those details. So the Deepam Rao continues to escalate with the Deepam not being allowed to be lit. But on the other hand, the Dargah, which was also situated in close proximity of the holy shrine, there the rituals were being carried out. There was an approval for those rituals. The flag hoisting was done. The bull chariot procession was carried out. But on the other hand, what we saw was a showdown between the cops and the pro-Deepam protesters. And BJP's Tamilisai Soundararajan is also joining us on the broadcast. Ms. Soundararajan, how do you see these developments at the Madurai Hill Shrine? On one hand, the Hindu devotees being denied to light the Deepam, whereas on the other hand, the Dargah rituals are being carried out, that too with approval.
So that is a clear indication, and that is clearly the government reveals its anti-Hindu mindset. Repeatedly, we were telling about that, and the Chief Minister is conveying that BJP is doing divisive politics, but clearly the CM is doing, the government is doing divisive politics. It is not the BJP who are opposing. You would have seen from yesterday, the poor ladies from the local area, they were fighting and they were asking the cops, why didn't you allow us to light the lamps? But you are allowing the tandoori program for the minorities. But it is not dividing. The government itself is dividing. People were almost staying very friendly, and the government very in a biased manner, highly condemnable, and they are giving protection for them. And this same hillock, where both the gods are there, and for one god and for one section of the religious people, totally biased activities in spite of the court order. In spite of the court order.
Ms. Soundararajan, the DMK remains adamant that they won't allow the lighting of the Deepam. They are saying that the courts must not interfere in religion, and what they're also saying is that these are not Hindu devotees but are goons trying to create unrest.
No, this I highly condemn that word because he is insulting the sentiments of common public there. BJP did not go there, Hindu Munani did not go there. You would have seen the people. Even the 50 people who were underwent fast were only the local people, but they tagged them as the Hindu religious people. No, the local people are fighting. But the DMK very arrogantly, yesterday also in a Christmas program, he has told we will safeguard the minority rights. But what happened to majority rights? So from the beginning, the DMK has become very arrogant, and the Chief Minister is egoistic.
All right.
And they are telling the Karthigai Deepam time has gone. How it can go? So definitely the Hindu people are fighting, but even the common public are stamped as fanatics. How can we accept that?
All right, Ms. Soundararajan, thank you for joining us on the broadcast. That's all the time we have. So the BJP condemns the DMK government and calls out its double standards on the Deepam Rao.